The recent findings at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre occurred during a restoration project carried out around the supposed tomb of Jesus. Beneath the ancient stones of Jerusalem, hidden in the very heart of the Christian faith, a shocking revelation has come to light. Archaeologists, guided by the meticulous pulse of history, have uncovered something extraordinary beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the sacred site that for centuries has been regarded as the tomb of Jesus Christ. But this discovery is not simply another chapter in religious archaeology. It marks a moment that could completely transform the way we understand one of the most transcendental narratives in the world. In today's video, we will reveal the details of this astonishing discovery, show how it directly supports the biblical account, and explain why its importance goes far beyond what most people can imagine. Stay tuned, because what you are about to hear may challenge many of your long-held beliefs. It all began with a restoration project in the year 2022. The work started at the very foundations of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, one of the most sacred and visited sites by Christians. It is believed to be the exact place where Jesus was buried. A team of archaeologists, led by Professor Francesca Stassola from La Sapienza University of Rome, undertook the task of preserving the ancient structure of the temple. However, as they dug deeper, they made a completely unexpected discovery, something that could redefine our understanding of this site and possibly of biblical history as a whole. What they uncovered beneath the church floor was not just more stones or ancestral relics. Instead, they found a garden more than 2,000 years old. This orchard, astonishingly intact and preserved through the centuries, contained olive trees, grapevines, and other plant species, exactly the kind of vegetation that would have grown in the time of Jesus. The soil, carefully protected for centuries beneath the church, held remains of ancient seeds, olive pits, grape seeds, and other plant fragments so well preserved that it seemed as if they had been waiting to be rediscovered. These seeds, along with the pollen found in the soil, provide a remarkable link to the past, a tangible connection to the flora that once covered this region. But the most impressive aspect of this garden is not just its existence, but its design. The planting beds were clearly organized, bordered by stone walls. This was not a wild or improvised garden. It had been cultivated with intention. The people who worked this land shaped it, cared for it, and protected it. It was not merely a space for growing food. It was a place designed with purpose, suggesting that it may have held spiritual or symbolic value beyond physical sustenance. And the discovery does not end there. Beneath this ancient garden, archaeologists also uncovered tombs carved directly into the rock, precisely cut into the stone. These graves, located at great depth, provide even more information about the people who lived in this place and the possible sacred nature of the site. This raises a fundamental question. Was this garden connected to burial practices? Or was it part of a broader spiritual complex? Could these tombs, so close to the church, offer new clues about the historical context in the days of Jesus? This garden, hidden for centuries beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, is not just another archaeological discovery. It is a direct connection to the past, tangible evidence that history often lies buried beneath our feet, waiting to be revealed. It is a space that speaks profoundly of the people who lived, believed, and worked here, of the land itself, and of the sacred character of this site. For centuries, we have identified this church as the place of Jesus' tomb. But what if the ground beneath its foundations holds even greater relevance than we imagined? What if this soil is revealing secrets about the lives of those who prayed, walked, and placed their faith here? The discovery of this garden not only enriches our understanding of a sacred place, it could completely reshape the way we interpret history and the biblical message. The finding of this ancient orchard beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre represents far more than an outstanding archaeological revelation. It is a physical and concrete confirmation of a crucial moment within the biblical narrative. In the Gospel of John, chapter 19, verse 41, we read, "Now in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden." For generations, this passage has been the subject of varied interpretations. Countless scholars have debated whether John was speaking symbolically or literally. Was the garden a literary metaphor or a real place? However, the recent excavation beneath the church removes all doubt about the literal nature of John's description. This garden, with its olive trees, vines, and other plants, is not an allegory or rhetorical figure. It is the very garden that the Apostle John described in his Gospel, a place intimately connected with the historical and tangible events surrounding the crucifixion and burial of Jesus. The magnitude of this discovery cannot be underestimated. For decades, many scholars who questioned the literal truth of certain passages in the Gospel are now compelled to reconsider their positions. The garden uncovered beneath the church is not the product of Christian symbolism, nor a later invention of ecclesiastical tradition. This is, according to the Gospels, the very site where Jesus' body was laid, just outside the city limits, in a garden. This discovery sheds light on an ancient debate within biblical scholarship. Some academics maintain that the garden mentioned by John was purely symbolic, a literary construction with theological purpose, rather than an actual location. They pointed to the frequent use of gardens in Christian iconography as symbols of life, hope, or paradise, and argued that John's reference served more of a spiritual purpose than a historical fact. Yet, the archaeological evidence unearthed beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre demonstrates the opposite. This garden is not a poetic image, but an authentic, tangible space, cultivated, orderly, and preserved under layers of earth for millennia. This revelation not only validates John's narrative, but also highlights how archaeology can serve as a powerful bridge between faith and history. The ground beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre contains physical evidence of what the Gospels recount: olive pits, grape seeds, and traces of pollen that have remained intact for centuries. These remnants form a concrete link with the past and lend historical solidity to the sacred account. But the significance of this discovery goes beyond the garden itself. It also enriches our understanding of the site of Jesus' crucifixion and burial. In John 19:20, we read that the place was outside the city, an essential detail consistent with the historical context of Roman punishment. The Gospels agree in stating that Jesus was crucified outside the walls of Jerusalem. Hebrews 13:12 also confirms this. Jesus suffered outside the gate, a fact with both religious and legal implications. According to Jewish law, executions were not carried out within the city to avoid defiling its sanctity. The discovery of the garden and the tombs, located just outside the ancient walls of Jerusalem, provides direct evidence that aligns perfectly with the biblical description. The garden, as John noted, was situated precisely where it should have been, outside the city limits, in an area designated for burials, as was customary in the outskirts of ancient cities. This is further confirmed by the geographic layout of Jerusalem at that time, protected by walls, with cemeteries established in the surrounding outer areas. Moreover, the architectural design of the tombs discovered adds even greater weight to this connection. In Matthew 27:60 and John 19:41, we are told that Jesus was laid in the tomb of a wealthy man named Joseph of Arimathea. The tombs found beneath the garden match this description exactly. They were not makeshift graves, but elaborate crypts carved into rock, typical of burial practices reserved for individuals of high economic and social status. These tombs not only reflect the kind of burial a wealthy individual would have provided, as Joseph of Arimathea did, but they also align with what is written in Mark 15:46. "And he bought fine linen, and took him down, and wrapped him in the linen, and laid him in a sepulchre which was hewn out of a rock." The tombs discovered meet this description to the letter, offering a direct parallel with the Gospel accounts. The shape, location, and design of these tombs correspond precisely with what one would expect from a sepulchre intended for an important figure or someone of considerable means, such as Joseph of Arimathea. This link between the archaeological tombs and the biblical narrative provides a crucial layer of validation to the account of Christ's passion and resurrection. Taken together, these discoveries not only corroborate the location of Jesus' crucifixion and burial, but also invite us to reconsider the historical strength underlying the Gospels. They stand as a silent yet powerful testimony that truth, though buried beneath centuries of soil and stone, always finds a way to emerge into the light. The evidence discovered beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre strongly reinforces the connection between the sacred texts and the physical reality of the site. The tombs, the garden, and their location outside the city walls align with the details provided in the Gospels, confirming that this is indeed the place where the events that transformed human history truly occurred. It is unparalleled evidence. 6 confirmations of the biblical account. The importance of the garden and the tombs discovered beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre cannot be underestimated. Each layer of evidence uncovered provides solid and irrefutable verification of the biblical narrative. Let us examine 6 key confirmations, each one strengthening the authenticity of the Gospel accounts. First, confirmation. The location of the garden outside the walls of Jerusalem is one of the most compelling proofs. In John 19:20, we are told that Jesus was crucified and buried in a garden outside the city. This detail sets the stage for everything that follows. The tombs and the garden discovered beneath the church are exactly where they should be, outside the walls of the ancient city. This is not an approximation or a forced coincidence. It is a precise match with the description given by the evangelist John, confirming that this is indeed the actual burial site of Jesus. Second confirmation. The tombs found provide another powerful validation of the biblical account. These are not ordinary graves, but tombs freshly hewn into solid rock. Their design corresponds to the type of tomb that would have been used by a wealthy person, which fits perfectly with Matthew 27:60, where Joseph of Arimathea, a rich man, offered his own tomb for Jesus' body. The fact that these tombs align with the burial practices of the elite of that time further strengthens the reliability of the Gospels. They were not just any tombs. They were exactly the kind that a figure like Joseph of Arimathea would have provided. Third confirmation. The fact that these tombs were manually carved into solid rock rather than being natural caves provides another key verification. Mark 15:46 tells us that Jesus was buried in a tomb cut out of rock. Although this detail is sometimes overlooked, it carries great historical weight. In ancient Jerusalem, it was common for upper-class tombs to be carefully carved into stone. The tombs found beneath the garden reveal sophisticated craftsmanship, indicating that they were intended for someone of high status. This detail confirms that the tombs match the biblical description, even in their execution and style. Fourth, confirmation. Another striking confirmation lies in the immediate accessibility of the garden. The Gospels recount that Jesus was buried hastily as the Sabbath was approaching. Matthew 27:57-60 and Mark 15:42-47 emphasize this urgency. The garden, located just outside the city walls, would have been the ideal place for a quick burial under pressing circumstances. Its proximity and availability made it the perfect site for a hurried burial. This location fits perfectly with the urgent need described in the Gospel texts. Fifth confirmation. The presence of olive trees and vines in the garden constitutes a direct echo of the imagery used in the Gospel of John. In John 19:41, it is mentioned that there was a garden where Jesus was crucified and buried. Although the text is brief, the imagery associated with the garden carries deep spiritual resonance. The olive trees, vines, and other plants found at this site match the flora frequently mentioned throughout Scripture. The olive tree, in particular, holds profound symbolic meaning in biblical tradition. It represents peace, reconciliation, and renewal. This flora is not just a botanical curiosity, but adds a powerful spiritual dimension to the site, aligning with the themes of hope and new life present in the resurrection. Sixth, confirmation. Finally, the deliberate burial of the garden by Emperor Hadrian in the 2nd century AD provides a unique and unexpected confirmation of its importance. In 135 AD, Hadrian attempted to erase Christian memory by building a pagan temple over the site of Jesus' crucifixion and burial. Yet, his attempt at suppression ended up becoming a form of preservation. The Roman debris and construction sealed the garden and tombs underground, protecting them from decay over the centuries. The fact that this site was so highly revered by the early Christians that Hadrian felt the need to conceal it confirms its spiritual and historical value. Far from destroying it, he preserved it. Although at first glance this discovery may seem like a fascinating archaeological revelation, in reality, it represents far more than a mere curiosity for historians or a striking fragment of the ancient past. This finding stands as a powerful verification of the accuracy of the Bible. For years, skeptics have claimed that the Scriptures are filled with myths, symbolism, and exaggerated tales that cannot be taken as literal history. Yet what has now been uncovered undermines those arguments. The garden is real. The tombs are real. The very place where Jesus was crucified and buried is not just a theological abstraction or a symbolic narrative. It is grounded in history, in authentic soil, in true tombs, and in tangible physical evidence. For those who long insisted that the Bible was nothing more than a collection of metaphors or religious myths, this evidence confronts them with an undeniable reality. The very sites mentioned in the Scriptures, the burial garden, the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, the place of the crucifixion, have been identified with such precision that there is no longer room for doubt among those who once questioned the truth of the Gospels. This discovery represents a direct challenge. It forces us to confront the fact that the Bible is not merely a collection of moral lessons or spiritual stories, but a document deeply rooted in historical events with real settings, concrete happenings, and authentic people. What was once transmitted only through faith is now also confirmed by the very ground that Jesus himself walked upon. But the significance of this discovery does not end there. It also unveils a story that remained hidden for nearly 2,000 years. The deliberate attempt by Emperor Hadrian to erase every trace of Christianity, ironically, ended up preserving the site for future generations. His construction, designed to wipe out any connection to the Christian faith in Jerusalem, shielded the site from the erosion of time and from destruction. In a providential twist, the very effort to bury Christian history became the shield that preserved its legacy. Today, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre rises as a spiritual beacon at the very place where, according to the Gospels, Jesus was crucified and buried, a place where faith and history converge. This discovery beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre represents one of those rare and transcendent moments when archaeology, history, and faith all point in the same direction. It offers irrefutable proof that the biblical events, especially those surrounding the crucifixion and burial of Jesus, are not mere spiritual teachings or mythological tales. They are events deeply anchored in real, physical history. In a world where faith is so often questioned, this finding serves as a reminder that Christianity is not merely a set of beliefs or traditions. It is grounded in historical fact, in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The places mentioned in the Bible are not distant legends. They are real, and some are still waiting to be uncovered. As we reflect on this astonishing discovery, we are reminded of the power that both faith and history hold. In an age dominated by skepticism, this finding rises as a call to remember the truth, a truth that has withstood the test of time and that now, thanks to modern archaeology, is confirmed in ways no one could have anticipated. If this discovery has moved you as much as it has moved us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let us continue spreading this powerful connection between faith and history to the entire world.